Scanning for audio.
Hello and welcome to another Tin Dog podcast. Now this time I'm going to be talking about the new Torchwood, number 81. 81? Tube Strike. Now, this one's been written by Gareth David-Lloyd and is starring Gareth David-Lloyd and Timothy Bentinck. So, we know that this is set primarily sort of Torchwood 1. Yvonne's still around, the original Yvonne. And it's when Yanto's kind of finding their feet and learning all about how Torchwood kind of functions. It's a very, very short synopsis. Building work on the London Underground has disturbed a nest of weevils. The ravenous creatures are hunting for flesh. Can Torchwood 1 contain the feast? It's that simple. It's a nice base under siege, London Underground, tube train kind of a story. Absolutely perfect for your small cast, atmospheric, beautifully constructed Torchwood. It does really feel perfectly pitched of the time, which is weird because it's, a time when we didn't even see Torchwood on TV. It predates the Torchwood where the doctor turns up with Rose, all of that business. I mean, it even predates the origin story of Cyberwoman, which let's just leave it there. Gareth's a great writer when it comes to Torchwood because he knows Yanto's backstory inside now. And because he's writing these, it's really... Right, so what we've got, I think, and I could be wrong here, is that we've now got a Weevil trilogy. What we're going to do with the Weevils. The Ood trilogy worked really well. So hopefully the Weevil set be similar. Except the Weevils are kind of a bit... Well, they're monsters. The Ood aren't monsters. They're characters you can do stuff with. This works really well. Yes, it feels like that whole 1970s underground cannibal kind of thing that used to be on Sean. You all know the name of the film. You all know the film. I just cannot think of it off the top of my head. You're probably shouting it to me now. You'll be putting it in the comments. Oh my God, am I a proper YouTuber where I keep saying, please put it in the comments? As if to trick you into fixing the algorithm? Well, no. If you remember the name of the film, keep it to yourself. There you go. Right. It's a very small, self-contained narrative. It doesn't take the narrative beyond what's going on, although it does tell you a lot more about Tommy's backstory. It tells you a lot more about the world of Torchwood 1, and of course it reinforces a lot of ideas you've already got about Yvonne and the way that everyone's, a tiny bit disposable. All of these things are perfectly structured and perfectly well placed in the Torchwood universe. Does this take the storylines that we've got going on and make them bigger? No. Is that needed? No. What we have got is a Torchwood that fits in with the monthly range beautifully, and it is very, very atmospheric. You know what? You're a fan of the Yanto, and that's what we've got going on here. So that's fine. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you hear the trailer, and you can decide for yourself, as always. It's a great little story. And you know what? I'm looking forward to more Yanto. Perhaps we need to take Yanto in a whole new direction. But as he's got a very finite beginning, middle and end, unless you count the hologrammatic Yanto, that's still running Torchwood 1's hub. Now that's a direction that I'd like to go in as well. But until next time, be seeing you.
Hello? Is there someone there?
From Big Finish Productions, Torchwood, Tube Strike.
Mind the closing doors, please. Mind the closing doors. Mind your toesies, mind your paws. Mind the closing doors.
It's a
Weevil! A bloodthirsty alien monster with massive gnashes that wants to kill us all.
Yvonne said they'd be manageable for years. The odd late-night passenger here and there, but generally keeping to themselves.
There's been 24 known attacks in 6 months.
Why have they suddenly got it in for us?
Transport for London wants all collapsed and abandoned tunnels below Waterloo re-excavated and reopened. I'm not going to lose this contract.
Ladies and gents, we seem to be experiencing some engineering. We've lost radio contact with everyone. Woohoo! And the train in front of us seems to be having difficulties.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
Mind the closing doors, please. Mind the closing doors.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Everything discussed is the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. For early access to reviews, follow the show on YouTube or Twitter @Tin Dog Podcast. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.